The elections for the African Union Commission chairmanship is on the home stretch. The elections, which are scheduled for February 15th, 2025, is basically just 3 weeks away. And apparently there are 3 candidates left in this race. And we're not seeing much happening with the 2 other candidates, the one from Madagascar and the other one from Djibouti. It's only the Kenyan candidate Raila Odinga that you have seen traversed Africa. And this month alone of January, he's visited over 12 heads of state. And this has now made him reach 37 confirmed votes. Last week he was in Maputo in Mozambique to meet the newly elected president who was sworn in last week, President Chapo, who assured him of his support. And that has now sealed his victory. Because even if 55 countries were to vote, the 2/3 required number is below 37. And of course, we know there are countries that are not going to vote. So we can basically just call these elections today and say that Raila Amolo Odinga, the Kenyan candidate, will carry the day in these elections. The other 2 candidates have been too relaxed. At some point, I thought that the Djibouti candidate will give Raila Odinga a run for his money. If you have watched this video up to this point, I want to make a special passionate appeal to you. Please kindly subscribe to this channel so that by the time this video reaches 1,000 views, it also should have reached 1,000 subscribers. We beg you, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, which is very crucial. Be part of the road. Thank you so much. God bless you. But he has kept a low profile, and even what has been going around that is, about to step down for Raila Odinga. Last week, Yusuf of Djibouti was in Kenya, and he came to meet the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Musalia Mudavadi, who is also the Foreign Affairs Minister, his counterpart. And word went round that is likely to step down. And of course, there's a word I can also confirm that is something that he's considering, because after meeting Mudavadi, he went back to Djibouti, and he called a press conference and he did not show up for the press conference. And even today, at the time that I was going to, at the time of producing this video, there's a looming press conference that he has called, that he was supposed to address. And rumors is having it that he's considering stepping down for the Kenyan candidate because he's not seeing the numbers. The numbers are not in his side, and the numbers don't lie. And also there's one that has come out before he could come to address the press conference, that he has now released a schedule of his activities, that tomorrow he's going to be in Tanzania, and the day after tomorrow he'll be in Senegal. But you see, even this country that is lining up to visit, these heads of state have already declared their support for Honorable Raila Odinga. We all know the stand of Madam Suluhu here in Tanzania, and the new president for Senegal has also come out and declared the support for Honorable Odinga. So he's not finding a good even areas to campaign. So all these places that he goes, the presidents in these countries just tell him that, for me, I've declared support for so and so. I'm sorry. So and so, I'm sorry. So because of this, he's frustrated. He doesn't know where to campaign. He was banking on Muslim nations, and many Muslim nations have also declared support for Raila Odinga. He was also thinking that the Francophone nations can support him. But many Francophone nations have come out to support Honorable Odinga. So he's frustrated. He doesn't know what to do. So basically what I think he's going to do when now reality will hit him, he's going to step down for Raila Amolo Odinga to go and clinch the seat unopposed. Of course, there's also the Madagascar candidate who is now too quiet completely. And having said that, I am now convinced that this seat was meant for Raila Amolo Odinga. It was long negotiated for Raila Amolo Odinga. If you listened to Raila Amolo Odinga when he was accepting this challenge, you realize that he was just accepting now the challenge that he was being asked to take. It was not as if he was the one declaring his interest. The African nations had already sat down and declared that now let's give this seat for Raila to Raila Amolo Odinga of Kenya. You know, it was actually negotiated ahead of his declaration. So he only came up and said, okay, I am ready to take it. If you did not listen to Raila Odinga's declaration for the seat, when he declared that he was going to run for the seat, I want to play for you a very short clip so that you hear the wording of the statement, how he read the statement. It was something that was very clear. Listen.
I am inclined to accept the challenge. Should the leadership of Africa want my services, I am ready and offer myself to be of service to this continent. And I've asked my friend to continue to be a good ambassador and talk to other people elsewhere. I don't want to say much more than that. And therefore today I want to make it public that I'm ready, yes, to go for the chairmanship of the African Union. Thank you.
So you see, if you really listen to that statement, he was somebody who was being presented with the seat. He was being asked to please take this seat, you know. And Obasanjo was the one who was being used to negotiate this deal for him. You could see Obasanjo commuting between Nairobi, USA, South Africa, other countries. It was a very clear sign that this seat was already negotiated for him. And even the fact that it was made rotational only this time round, all along, the seat has not been put rotational to parts, to, I mean, sides of, I mean, different sides of Africa, northern side of Africa, central side of Africa, eastern part of Africa, and so forth, and so on and so forth. It's only this time round that the seat was now made rotational, that is for the turn of Eastern Africa, you know, so that he can target Raila Odinga. All along, it was just supposed to be declared, and anybody from any part of Africa would vie. But this time around, it was made specifically to be the turn of Eastern Africa to target Raila Odinga, you know. And even there's a time at some point that some rumors were coming that it was supposed to be left for ladies to vie. And some high executive body of Africa had to meet and discuss the matter. And it was now declared that anybody was now free to vie for the position, you know. So all these signs have now sat down and observed and seen that this seat actually was negotiated for Raila Odinga, and nothing is going to stop him from capturing this seat. So basically, in this video, I just want to declare that I have called the seat for Raila Amolo Odinga. He's going to win the seat, and we are thinking that in the near few days ahead here, in the next 1 or 2 weeks, you are likely to see the Djibouti candidate pulled down. You know, Djibouti has had a tendency of opposing Kenya in many seats. When Kenya is vying for a certain seat, they always have a tendency of trying to also come in and oppose and vie against Kenya. And in some cases, and in many cases, Kenyans have been beating them. But on this occasion, I think Djibouti is going to step down. And even if he doesn't step down, Raila Odinga is going to beat him. And the 2/3 majority is mandatory to all candidates. So even if Djibouti was to step down and Madagascar was to step down, so that it's only Raila Odinga alone in the seat unopposed, still heads of states are going to vote. They are still going to vote to ensure that the person who is alone in the race acquires the 2/3 majority. Even if you remain alone, the voting must take place. You know? And even if you're alone and you don't achieve that 2/3 majority, the elections will just be put off and be announced like a fresh date is going to be announced. A fresh date so that a new election can be held. But if the sole candidate acquires that 2/3 majority, then he becomes the winner. So that's the status of the race up to this point. We are 3 weeks away. Let's wait and see what's going to happen. And if you have watched this video up to this point, kindly subscribe to this channel. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. It is close, yes, yet too far. One subscriber at a time. Please be part of the road. The first 1,000 subscribers are the cornerstone of the channel. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Africa. Thank you so much.